Georgios Haralabus is responsible for hydroacoustic engineering for CTBTO.
The IMS, the International Monitoring System, is a network of 321 stations and 16 laboratories to monitor continuously the world for signs of nuclear explosions. In a sense, it's a global alarm system and is unique.
Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to the next generation of the CTBT scientists and technical professionals. It is my pleasure to meet with you again, even virtually, to discuss the hydroacoustic component of the CTBTO. Before we start, I would like to say a few words for a comment made in the opening video about the uniqueness of the CTBTO's verification regime from a scientific point of view. As you all know, in different scientific fields, there are other international organizations that provide global monitoring. However, most of them rely mainly on a single technology, for example, nuclear physics or chemistry. The CTBTO employs under the same roof 4 different technologies, and that is unique. This set of skills comprise 3 waveform technologies, namely hydroacoustics, seismology, and infrasound, together with radionuclide, both particulate and noble gas. And as you can see from the map, the monitoring stations are deployed all over the world, even at the most remote places on the planet. The monitoring data from all these stations are transmitted to the International Data Center in Vienna that analyzes the data and provides daily information about detected events to the state signatories. The transmission is achieved through a global communications infrastructure that includes satellites, ground hubs with terrestrial links, public telecommunication infrastructures, but also alternative communication setups to make sure that data from the most remote places on the Earth arrive at CTBTO in a timely and reliable manner. Let's focus now on the hydroacoustic component of the International Monitoring System, which is responsible for monitoring the world oceans for signs of nuclear explosions. It consists of 11 hydroacoustic stations. 6 of these stations, shown in white boxes here, are cable stations that utilize underwater microphones called hydrophones to capture underwater sounds. The other 5 stations, shown in gray boxes, are called T-phase stations, and they use near-shore seismometers to record waterborne acoustic waves coupled into the Earth's crust. In this presentation, we concentrate on the hydrophone stations, and the next video explains how they work.
The white dots that we see here are hydroacoustic stations. Only 11 such stations are needed to monitor the oceans on Earth. This is because sound waves propagate very efficiently in the water. Here we can see an underwater event. This can be a volcano, an earthquake, or an explosion. Sound waves are created and move through the oceans. And when they hit a hydroacoustic station, they are registered by its hydrophones. Hydrophones are sensitive underwater microphones. They convert changes in water pressure into electrical signals. They are deployed at a depth where sound waves propagate most efficiently. As you can see, hydrophones are arranged in triplets. This helps us establish where the sound waves come from. There are cables on the seabed to transmit the signals. Depending on ocean floor topography, these cables can be up to 100 kilometers long. Near the shore, the cable is encased in protective layers and then led through a pipe to avoid the rough surf zone. Computers at the shore facility record the signal and prepare it for satellite transmission. Dish antennas transmit the data via satellites to the CTBTO in Vienna. All this is done automatically and takes only a few seconds. So here we see it again. Sound waves from an event are registered by the hydroacoustic sensors deep underwater, transmitted as electrical signals via cable to a shore facility, and then sent via satellite link to the CTBTO in Vienna, where the data are analyzed to clarify the nature of the event.
All the cable stations have two triplets of hydrophones except for HAO1 at Cape Lou in Australia, which has only one triplet. This sketch shows the main components of such stations. The triplets are suspended in the water column by subsurface buoys, shown in orange, in the local SOFAR channel, which is a horizontal ocean layer explained later in the presentation. The hydrophones are placed in a horizontal triangular configuration with a separation of approximately 2 kilometers. The triplets are connected to the shore facility with underwater cables that, contrary to what it was mentioned in the previous animation, it can be up to 220 kilometers. The hydrophone sensors have a nominal recording frequency band between 1 and 100 Hz, and the self-noise of the system is required to be 10 dB below the ocean noise for a typical quiet ocean location in order to maximize the detection range of the hydroacoustic network. This global map illustrates the acoustic coverage provided by the IMS hydroacoustic network. It is a simulation of the acoustic energy transmission loss based on a 3D parabolic equation model. The brighter the colors, the less energy is dissipated, thus better acoustic coverage is offered. Overall, it shows that a small number of hydroacoustic stations is enough to monitor the world oceans that cover more than 70% of the surface of our planet. One of the main reasons that a small number of hydroacoustic stations suffice to monitor the vast areas of the oceans is the SOFAR channel, an acronym for Sound Fixing and Ranging Channel. It is a horizontal layer in which sound travels at a minimum speed. Acoustic energy becomes trapped in this invisible waveguide, suffers reduced energy loss, and thus travels very large distances in the oceans. The depth of the SOFAR channel varies in different locations on the globe as it depends on temperature and hydrostatic pressure. In warm tropical regions, it is formed at approximately 1500 meters depth, but it becomes much shallower towards the poles. Okay, and now let's move from the properties of the oceans to a short video that shows what it takes to install a hydroacoustic station at one of the most remote places on the planet. While the primary purpose of the hydroacoustic network is to detect underwater explosions, there are many secondary benefits from civil and scientific applications associated with marine mammal vocalizations, iceberg calving, underwater volcanoes, and seismic explorations. Data from IMS stations are also used to investigate the impact of climate change, the variability of ocean ambient noise, and to support UN Sustainable Development Goals. Moreover, IMS data are provided to tsunami warning centers. Scientists and researchers from different disciplines and from around the world have access to IMS data through the Virtual Data Exploitation Center, the VDEC, at no cost. Here are some examples from such research projects, along with underwater recordings from IMS hydrophone stations. Finally, our global monitoring network has also provided useful information in the dramatic case of the loss of the Argentinian Navy submarine Ara San Juan, as on the 15th of November 2017, two IMS hydroacoustic stations, thousands of kilometers away, detected an underwater acoustic anomaly originating in the vicinity of the last known location of the submarine. This brings me to the conclusion of my presentation. I really hope you find it interesting. Dear young professionals, it has been an honor for me to prepare this material for you, because you are the future and for which I wish you the best. Until next time, Georgios.